kind of walk us through, some of the various sound sources, and then maybe also some of your performance / patching techniques. We'll kind of go from there.
So this box is broken up kind of into. So I was at Velocity, kind of put all these ideas in my head. Like, so one, Ben Divkid, like, didn't actually explain what he was talking about, but during his talk, he was like, we're using this kind of like zonal organization of putting things in zones.
Sure.
He just kind of said that offhandedly, and I was like, okay. Oh no, that kind of makes sense. And then in my head, I was like, okay, I want like everything like in space in the rack to be like its own voice. So everything that comprises a voice goes together. So so basically, here's the logic behind this. So bottom row is sequencer and mixer.
So this is kind of your control.
This is like the control zone. Then like when I'm like playing music and also like writing music, most of the time I'm standing down here doing stuff.
Right. Which I love how like nice and neat the patch cables are. So this whole area is completely free, easy to access.
That's because these things are amazing. This would like look like a crazy rat nest otherwise. And then so yeah, mostly we have so zone 1 is this. And this is basically the drum machine. This is drum machine one shots, including samples.
Okay.
This disting plus this selector thing is what I call the augmentator. Not that one.
The augment break, yeah.
Yeah, but the cool thing, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but Acid Rain Technology has this utility module called the selector, and all it is two attenuators in series.
Sure.
And so how I have it set up, along with this disting, is that this slider will select which sample.
Ooh. So it's really easy to just on the fly just switch samples.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
But the fun thing is, here, let me load a blank pattern. If we were to load, say, this, and then I'm going to mute everything except for that voice.
Sure.
And then just make it so we got, that should go.
I'm thoroughly impressed with how easy and quickly you're using this module. You seem to know it really well.
Yeah. Get the kind of like where things not working when I want them to work thing. Oh yeah, that's why. So here's like.
You're like re-triggering the sample.
And the nice thing about this is that for this one player mode of the disting sample player, it will time stretch it to your BPM, right? So if you're playing this, right, and then you can do this like slow down record thing, and then you can do it back up.
Wait, that's so cool.
Fuck yeah, it is.
So you don't have to really pay much attention, when you're loading samples to the BPM and the timing of it.
Yeah.
Because it'll stretch it for. That's crazy.
So that way.
Why don't more sample players do that?
Yeah. So if you like, here's what makes it the augmentator instead of just the sample player.
Sure.
Is the augmentator is like here you're selecting like which sample, or this attenuator will turn up a step random that will select the sample. So you just turn it up, and then it's full on augmentator, and then it's just gonna.
And it's all in time with your sequence.
Yeah, and it'll do that. You don't want to do swing with it, or else it'll fuck it up.
Sure. But also, maybe that's exactly why you want to do swing with it.
So that's my favorite thing.
This is crazy. You've only explained like one little part of this whole patch, and it's already just so dense. I feel like you could honestly get up on a stage and play for a solid 10 minutes of just that. Literally just that.
Yeah, it has good samples.
Yeah, that's crazy. I kind of a small little sidetrack. I also noticed there's these color-coded dots all over. Kind of explain that, because I see that there's a green dot here, but there's a green dot here, and then a green dot here, and then there's a pink dot here, pink dot there. I'm curious if what does that mean?
These things are freaking amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a side effect of like going to raves really young is that my memory is really, really bad. So like these things are the only reason that. So basically, this system, in my system, like the colors, it's just like there's two colors so you can tell them apart, and those are my favorite colors.
Sure.
But basically, it's like if there's a dot on the knob, it means you should definitely fuck with that knob. But if there's a dot next to the knob, it means don't fuck with that knob. That knob is supposed to be set exactly there.
Oh.
So see, like the ones that are on the panels, I've drawn on them. That's mostly tuning. So I've set them all to middle C. So that way if it gets knocked out,
then you have the dot and you can go back.
And
got
then
it.
Also, so it's either that or down here the dots indicate the mapping of the sequencer channel to the mixer channel, because the sequencer is 16 outs, the mixer is 8 outs, so how those map together.
Wow.
And then this dot, so William Mathewson is a fucking genius, and I love everything about him, and I love everything about the Metron, except the fact that the load button is immediately next. It's like 1 centimeter away from the save button. And so what actually happened to me in the Modular Nights performance is for my last song, I go to load it, and I accidentally save over it with the song I'm currently on instead of loading it. And the only reason I was able to finish the last quarter of my set is because I had saved all those songs in another backup place.
Oh, smart! Yeah.
The sequencer.
Wow.
So what I thought about doing is getting the googly eyes, the adhesive, ripping off the back of it and then putting that little thing. So there's a little cap over the save button so you can't hit it by accident in performance.
Sure. Wow.
So that's one thing you watch out for if you're in the Metron, and the nice thing about the Metron is that if you're loading a new pattern, like a new song, it will quantize loading of that song at the beginning of the next measure.
Oh, nice. So it's always in time.
Seamless, right?
Yeah.
So you can write kind of bridge tracks that will bridge two songs.
Nice.
But it's really easy to accidentally save over it when you're trying to load it.
Right.
And that will kind of fuck you up, and it's just gone forever.
Right. So that green dot is also kind of there to be like, this is the one you want.
The one you want to push.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's crazy. That's such a simple thing, right? Just leaving these little stickers, but I feel like that's got to be insanely helpful, especially during performance, help keep everything straight.
Well, with all of these, these all, it's dark. Cause I was practiced before the show of turning all the lights really low.
Smart.
And then I was all these buttons and knobs look exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you just
totally.
So that helps.
That's crazy. I mean, one thing I really appreciate about your system is it's insanely organized. You know, even from the dots to the cables being tied up.
Virgo powers.
Yeah. I feel like it makes it. You've made it so easy to perform. You know, because you have all your controllers down here. Everything's color coded. It seems really easy, and that's so rad. Okay. Anyways, back to the sounds.
Oh yeah.
So you talked about your, what'd you call it, the Ameninator?
The Ameninator, yeah.
Okay.
He plays Amen.
Yeah. Oh man, that alone is fantastic. But anyway, so what else is going on in this drum section?
Drum kit. So the Crater is awesome. One nice thing about the Crater is it's a kick drum with sustain.
Okay.
And then you can do gates of arbitrary length on the Metron, right? And so that means that besides being a kick drum, it'll also be your sub bass voice.
Nice.
So if you turn off if you just make it, this kind of weird sine wave thing, and you just want like a purely sub bass voice, that'll just be that, and then everything else can do other stuff.
Wow, that sound really speaks to the trap hip hop loving millennial in me.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then it's just like kick drum, prog kick drum, and then snare, and then clap. And this is the fun thing about synthesis, not samples with drums, is that, having the continuously varying parameters and stuff like that, right? It's really fun. And then the next 4, so it goes in 4s. So,
okay. Nice.
So kick, snare. The next 4 is cymbals and one-shots.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you got the another W&D product, the Crucible. Is like these really, really nice.
Ooh, whoa! The tail on that sound.
Yeah, these like really nice ride cymbal sounds. That's like a physical modeling one, so it just sounds really pretty all the time. And then just some hats.
Yep.
Eliminator.
Yeah.
I don't need to turn that up as much. This is the Manus Pterodos.
Oh,
Everybody
nice.
loves that,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
That one's great for like weird one-shot things.
Wow.
And then, so that's the first 8. And then, so the first 8 is drums. The second 8 is synth voices.
Okay.
And the second 8 is broken up also into 2 4s. So the first 4 are this zone, where this zone is all based on the E352 cloud terrain.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's just, it's a combination of that and the chainsaw. So everything in quad number 3 is being controlled by the Architect and its expander, the Triad.
Okay.
And so you've got one bass sound that's going through the LXD, so the low pass gate. You've got the strike of that.
Oh,
that's really fun for like 30-second notes.
Sure.
And then just doing it again through like distortion filter. And if you turn. And so that's fun. And then the last one in this zone, which I'm kind of breaking my rules up here because the chainsaw's up here, and the chainsaw, and then you can sequence the chords.
Oh, nice.
Sequence the chords with the chainsaw.
Oh my God. Wow.
And the sequencing, so all the voltage sequencing, including which chord is playing, is all done from the Metron Volteras stuff.
Okay, which are expanders.
They're expanders for
this
Metron.
guy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow, that's crazy. So you're literally controlling every aspect of your patch from this guy.
Totally.
Wow.
The fun thing about having it sounds initially clunky that voltage, which note is being sequenced, is just this weird expander from which trigger is being sequenced.
Yeah.
But it's actually beautiful once you kind of get used to it, because not only is the module separate, but those tracks in the sequencer are separate, and they don't actually know about each other. So if you want the melody to be on a different time signature than the triggers for a single voice, you can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you want arpeggios, you can just make 7/16 notes of notes and have that just keep repeating on the voltage sequence track, but then have the trigger sequence just actually be the triggers.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. When you explain it like that, it does seem really intuitive. I mean, I was looking at these and I'm like, voltage sequencing, really? That seems a little esoteric, but I mean, when you explain it like that makes a lot of sense. Wow, I'm continually blown away by the level of organization in the system. I can't get over that. Most people I know, myself included, it's kind of just kind of a mess, a hodgepodge of whatever, and we just make make it work, right? But this is like next level organization, and I love it.
It's because it's like still in like, well, basically like this case has like 2 modes. It has like kicking it mode and then business mode.
Oh,
but,
wow,
but
love that.
And then after I signed up to play Modular Nights, I was like, okay, next 2 months, case is in business mode.
Yeah.
So it got like, it got like its fucking power pants suit.
Yeah.
It got a haircut and all this stuff. It's like ready for the interview.
It's ready to go. Wow. Okay. So I would love to hear just the drums for a little bit, just because that all sounded really fascinating and really cool. I kind of just want to hear all the percussive stuff together by himself.
Yeah, I mean, here's like just the drums doing stuff. So on Metron, the interface we're looking at now is not for sequencing, but we're in what's called fill effects mode.
Oh, okay, got it.
And in this, the top row is mutes for each channel. The second row is rhythmic one shots. So like quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and so.
Okay. And are you able to program that all? Or is that just kind of how it comes?
So if you unmute everything and say just turn on this clap, you can like, and then you can program different patterns. I'm really into eighth note triplets right now.
Nice. No, I feel that. I love eighth note triplets. So if you add a little bit of swing to them, then
exactly.
Perfect.
And then the third row is looping the triggers, not the audio.
Got it.
So you can do like.
Wow. So when you perform, do you find yourself mostly into this mode where you're kind of doing fills and mutes?
Yeah, I haven't ever like tried to do live sequencing. It's all already written.
Sure.
And then it's just all in this mode, like fucking around with that stuff, and then also turning knobs.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Well, I mean, it's nice because then you don't have to worry about the sequences. You don't have to worry about the content. You can just jam on it, and it's always going to sound nasty.
Yeah. Well, when I first got the WMD mixer, I was like, how dare you make such a beautiful mixer without mutes? And there's like an expander for it, but then like the fact that you can do all of your muting of the triggers instead of the sounds,
right?
And that you can do it in this way where you can just slide across, and because I've organized the triggers into like kind of coherent sections, if I want to like turn on just the kicks and snares, you just click right there. Turn off just the kicks and snares, or if I want to turn on just all of the voices inside E352, just go like there, and so that's happening, right?
Well, and the cool thing too about muting triggers versus muting audio is you never have to worry about the sound that's popping or audio or anything, because it's the triggers, not the actual sound.
It's never happening. And just being able to just do that slide move is really fun. So if it's all like happening, like there's blah 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 blah.
You can literally press any combination of buttons on that sequencer and it's gonna sound cool.
Oh yeah, totally. Fun thing is to like drop out the drums and then like and then turn it back in.
Oh my goodness. So is there a way like to like not individually mute but to like group mute things so you can like take out all the drums at once?
Yeah, they have a thing called called mute scenes.
Okay.
That I've never done it.
Okay, gotcha.
But they have mute scenes and there's also like Volteras scenes. That's like but I don't know how it works.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
Anyways, there's that, and then where were we? And then last thing is like fiddle rings, doing ring stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then the last two are I've been like playing with analog FM a bunch,
Nice.
and the 0-point oscillator from SSF.
Okay.
Being like FM'd from this TSL thing.
Yeah.
And then so that's this like kind of
Oh,
sound.
and then like squelchy kind of.
Yeah, it's like an FM.
Yeah.
But if you turn it into, this is like one of the performance knobs of like turning it into zero through, or turning it through zero, the through zero part. Is basically, from my takeaway of what through zero means, other than the math part, is like it makes everything sound fucked up and crazy, but cool. Kind of out of tune.
Yeah, okay.
So that's like through zero mode, so it can be like, and then it's also, you can change the waveform in this like mixer.
Okay, nice.
Ooh.
So that's 4 synth voices then, right? Because you have the chainsaw, the cloud terrarium, the ring, and then the through zero. 0.0 through zero?
Yeah, I guess
0
it's
point,
like 4. Yeah, it's cloud terrarium, chainsaw, the ZPO, and rings.
Okay. So then, what's your effects channel like? Because I mean, similar, because you've kind of been talking about how your system's kind of broke up in all these different zones. I see kind of like an effects zone.
Oh yeah,
here.
effects zone.
So kind of what's that kind of looking like, and how are you?
Effects zone is just there's 2 send return effects. One is this spring reverb.
I love how you have it like right there too. It's super accessible.
Yeah, because you can fuck with your nails.
Oh,
that's short right now, but like you can do stuff like that. It's really fun. Somebody told me that you can play them with violin bows, but I never tried it. And yeah, my stepdaughter plays violin, but I don't want to like mess up her bow.
No, totally, yeah. Wow. Okay, so you have.
So I've got that, and this has like a big feedback knob that makes weird sounds.
Nice.
And then just like, some rings have some delay, because rings, like, as if it wasn't pretty enough already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some delay, and then one master effects, where like, if it's going, you can like have some reverb.
Oh, to the whole. Oh, that's fantastic.
That was my like, before I like wrote bridge tracks, to bridge between tracks, my transition scheme was like, and reverb.
Yeah, totally.
But this is like the bit crushy thing, whatever it's called. So you can switch. We're waiting for the fill. 8, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
Amazing. You count while you play. I love that. I never met another modular player who counts the beats while they play.
That was in drum line for a long time.
Oh my god, I was a percussionist all through like high school, and I was in percussion ensemble at university as well. So, that's fantastic. Okay, great. And then, are you using this compressor for side chaining, or what's that?
Nah, it's just everything
compression.
goes in the compressor for like. So it makes it.
Sure, yeah. Especially when you have this many sound sources, you kind of need that thing to like glue it all together, right?
Yeah, it's also a good like I was worried about like breaking somebody's equipment, plugging into a big thing without a limiter.
Yeah.
One thing I definitely heard also that I learned at Velocity was like, what's his name that runs Obsidian Sound?
Nathan Moody.
Yeah, Nathan Moody.
I was like, oh god.
He gave a talk about a bunch of stuff, but he was like, always high pass filter your reverb. And so this like tiny high pass filter for the spring reverb is like so critical.
Oh, so that's dedicated.
Yeah, because
to
like
the spring reverb. Nice.
Because if you're like doing this to the spring without a high pass filter, then it could get
pretty crazy. Yeah. Wow. And honestly, anytime Nathan Moody says to do anything, it's gospel. Like that's just how you do it, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm blown away. This shit is amazing. I don't know what else I really have to ask other than let's just have you just jam out on this.
Okay. Cool.